I'm Ken Willers. I'm the principal, and this is the School of the Madeleine's yearbook success story. The goal of the Madeleine is to prepare students for a world that has yet to sort of come to shape.
When I grow up, I want to be a toy inventor.
When I grow up, I want to be an actress.
When I grow up, I want to be an engineer.
When I grow up, I want to be a professional baseball player.
When I grow up, I want to be an architect.
When I grow up, I want to be a marine biologist.
My responsibility to the students is to give them an environment where they can begin to learn the 21st century skills they're going to need to be able to collaborate, to be able to critically think through how they're going to move through a problem, to create an environment where all the tools they use are transparent, that the focus is never on the tool, but it's on what are you trying to achieve and what tools might you need to do that.
The yearbook is definitely a part of the Madeleine's identity.
I feel it's part of who we are.
When you're older, you can go back and look at and see all the memories that you had.
It helps everyone, remember what happened in the year and what they really enjoyed about it.
It's important to have a yearbook because the yearbook is where the memories are captured. These are the places where kids will go back when they're grown adults and look back.
It's important for the students to hold the memory. It's actually the memory that they want to memorialize, they want to hold, and they want to refer back to as they get older. We are pretty forward-thinking and pretty innovative. All the students are using iPads, interactive smartboards in every classroom, Apple television in all the classrooms. I would not think that our previous providers for the yearbook were forward-thinking. If anything, they forced us backward.
The old yearbook, you kind of had to fight it out, you had to chisel out every bit of your page.
I think the old system is a little more primitive in just its user interface.
You had to do a lot of math, figure out picture sizes to make sure the ratios between things were correct.
We've gone through a number of yearbook providers trying to find the right one that we wanted to stick with and not. They were very much behind the times. We're using these formats that just feels like I'm uploading pictures to AOL in 1998 or something like that.
I walked by a booth, I saw an iPad displaying an e-yearbook. I wasn't going to engage the booth, but I just decided since I saw this e-yearbook, I was going to find out more about it. It happened to be Picaboo. And the girl saw me, and I didn't want to engage her at first, but she came over and I was flippant. I go, I just wanted to see how it feels. And I said, oh, okay, this is pretty cool.
Started talking with the reps, saw the iPad, saw the different yearbooks. I started asking them questions. Well, how long is the turnaround for a yearbook? And they said, oh, about 3 weeks. I was like, 3 weeks? I had to give 3 months with a previous vendor. And I didn't even have to estimate how many yearbooks I was going to order. And they were like, no, you don't even have to tell us how many you're going to order because the parents order directly. And I was like, excuse me? The parents order directly? And they're like, yeah, you don't have to fill out any forms. You don't have to receive any checks. We take care of all of that for you. It's like, sweet. And I fell in love with Picaboo at first sight, if you will.
When they told me, well, you didn't need to have a minimum order, when they told me that the cost to the school, there was no upfront cost to the school, that actually, you could sell your yearbooks online, and if you wanted to, have a slight markup where a profit would actually go back to the school, where deadlines were not, 2 months before the end of the academic year, but actually, 3 weeks prior to when you wanted them shipped. It was like, oh, well, this is over. I mean, your competitors are finished now, because I don't think there's any other yearbook publishing company that can compete on any of those levels.
I went back to my hotel room, pulled out my laptop, and started creating a yearbook right then and there. Created an account all within 30 seconds. Within 5 minutes, I had 3 pages of a yearbook done. And I knew right then and there that my students would be able to handle switching vendors with only 2 months to go before the yearbook was due. I sent an email to my editors and said, stop working on the yearbook. I know it's spring break and you guys are working on it, but you need to stop. I'll explain everything when we get back to school.
I found out that we were not using the previous yearbook system over spring break.
A lot of us were like, wait, but we already did work on the previous site.
I think everyone was really nervous and sort of
maybe not upset, but just sort of distressed. But once we really started using Picaboo, I saw that it was a lot easier and we could really create a better yearbook.
We had already spent like maybe almost 3 months on the old yearbook system, and it was kind of slow going. Once we got to Picaboo, we could immediately transferred all of our ideas and all of our like new concepts onto it.
It was easy to use, it was organized, and I think within a couple of days we had almost done all the work that we had done on the other companies. Picaboo software was very easy to pick up because it's very intuitive and you can just tell what you're supposed to do, and it has really allowed us to be a lot more creative with our work.
It was easier to arrange and format the yearbook, and so we could focus more on creative things like what art we wanted to put in or how we wanted to design certain things.
It was really fun. I really liked that you could have 2 people working on a page at once, and you can also copy pages, like formats, onto a different page, which is really important because we have to have the same layout for 9 grades.
My favorite features is using the pictures in the background, and I just think that looks so much better, and it really adds a personalization.
I would say it makes me more creative just to be using it, because I see a feature and I think, oh, I should try this or I should try that, and it ends up looking even better than I would have made it with the old site.
What I loved, the day I walked into the tech center and I saw 8 of our 8th graders all sitting in front of the computers, just building the yearbook. That's what I loved. And I asked them, I said, is this easy? They said in a 24-hour period, we did what took us 3 weeks with our previous provider. That's what I loved. What you guys are doing are enabling the children, the students, the ones that we're serving, to actually create their memories. That's what you're doing. You don't need the adults anymore.
When I grow up, I want to be a pediatric cardiologist.
When I grow up, I want to be either an electrical engineer or a programmer.
When I grow up, I want to be an interior designer.
When I grow up, I want to be an author.
When I grow up, I want to be a voice actor.